And hello, thank you for stopping by the Massachusetts Whiskey Reviews this evening channel of YouTube. My name is Thomas Metal 75, and here's a whiskey review for you. What are we reviewing today? If you can't tell from the title of this video, backstory. Our good friend from the beer community and the whiskey and liquor community, East Coast Liquor Reviews, Tanner, out of the state of Rhode Island. Go check out the link to his channel below. Gifted me with a sample bottle, which I have poured some just about now. I did pour some of the sample bottle that he gave me. Thank you, Tanner. Of a single barrel bourbon whiskey called the Blanton Single Barrel. Here is the bottle from the Blantons, the original single barrel bourbon whiskey that the sample came from at East Coast Liquor Review, Tanner's house. So as this says, this was dumped on the 28th of February 2019 from barrel number 100 at Warehouse H, where all of the Blantons are from, on Rick number 3, and these are 93 proof, 46% alcohol by volume bourbon whiskeys. And this comes from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky, and they are utilizing their mash bill number 2, which is commonly referred to as a high rye mash bill, which is known to contain 12 to 15% rye. According to vinepaired.com, however, the term high rye is a bit misleading as it is often associated with mash bills containing 20 to 35% rye or more. So apparently this is very similar to mash bill 1. And the most well-known brands with mash bill 2 include the Blantons, single barrel, their Ancient Age, and the rare Elmer T. Lee. What else can I tell you? So the story, I'll paraphrase from the Blanton's bourbon website, is in 1984, the distiller of Buffalo Trace, Elmer T. Lee, I believe he was in his last year of working there before he retired. And so single barrel bourbon started with Blanton's in 1984. Nearing retirement, master distiller Elmer T. Lee was tasked with creating a bourbon with exceptionally high quality. With careful reflection, he recalled the early days of his career in the late 1940s when he worked under Colonel Albert B. Blanton. He was the president of the distillery until 1952, and they talked about Elmer T. Lee remembering that when the Colonel Blanton would entertain guests, he would handpick a honey barrel from the center cut of that Warehouse H and have that bourbon bottled one barrel at a time. And it's tribute to that barrel, to those barrels that Colonel Blanton would pick, Elmer T. Lee named this Blanton Single Barrel. So let's go ahead and try the single barrel. Hello, cheers. Right back at you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so Tanner gave me probably a little bit more than an ounce and a half, but I poured pretty much close to that. It has a very nice color. It's a nice golden copperish kind of color. Very nice. Some nice legs. Let's see what the nose smells like. I will try, as I do on my whiskey reviews, I will try neat, and then I will try with some water, with a couple of straws of cold water. So I've heard a lot of disappointing things and some good things. I don't know what to expect. You can never find Blanton's anywhere. It's a nerdy whiskey guy's whiskey. People will spend $200-300 on that bottle of whiskey. I think that's criminally insane that you would want to do that just to try this whiskey. And typically it's anywhere between, I don't know, 50 and 70 bucks, maybe, if you can find it, which normally you can't. So we'll see if all of this hype and all of this not available bourbon whiskey here equals out to any good whiskey. So let's give it a nose, shall we? Very sweet. Very sweet. There's some caramel, lots of vanilla. I'm actually getting a touch of some ethanol notes in this. There's some ethanol in the background. I am getting a little bit of that rye note. Not a whole bunch, obviously. Barrel spice. Minty, sort of. I don't think it's the glass. Sweet on the nose. Caramel. It's a very light offering on the nose. Not really much to write home about, really. Very soft. Yeah, let's get a taste on the Blanton's Original, a single barrel. Solange. I hope the sample bottle is not. Hope the sample bottle that East Coast Liquor Reviews gave me was actually pretty clean and not soapy or anything. Because I'm getting either like a soapy note or something that's reminding me of cilantro. Weird. I'm definitely getting something that's reminding me of cilantro. So it's odd. So if I look past that note, I'm getting hints of vanilla, some of the rye spice. It's very soft. It's got a creamy texture to it. It's very soft and elegant. Only in the back end of the sip, when it finishes, am I getting some of the ethanol notes, some of the alcohol. I wouldn't figure at 93 proof I was going to get much of an alcohol hit, really, but I'm getting more than I guess I would have expected. But it's going down silky smooth and creamy for the most part in the beginning of the palate. Maybe some apple-y or pear notes. Yeah, this rye or minty or cilantro. I really hope that this bottle isn't, the sample wasn't soapy and not really clean. All right. Well, interesting notes. Nothing really to write home about at the moment. Let's put some water in there and see what we think. 2 straws to start. There's one. Do the second one. So I saw a review that the ADHD Whiskey channel did. His name is Matt, and he put the Blantons and he put his version of the Blanton's bottle into one glass. I think he almost thought the same thing that I did, and then he poured the sample, or he poured the glass in the contents of the from the whiskey into another glass, and I guess he thought the same thing. So maybe this is cilantro or some kind of minty soapy note. I'm still getting that from the water edition. It's not super pleasant, really, that note. But other than that, you're getting the same thing. The caramel, a little bit of caramel, tons of vanilla. It's super sweet smelling still. Let's try it again. Cheers. I see that Tanner, East Coast Liquor Reviews, is in the chat. Can you tell me if the Blanton's bottle that you gave me the sample from has a soapy note or a cilantro note or something like that? Because that's all I seem to be getting mostly out of the bottle. It's out of your sample you gave me. It's very sweet. It's very cilantro, minty, and vanilla-like. It's super sweet for the most part. It's not cloyingly sweet at all, but it's super sweet. Okay, so if that's actually the tasting profile and the notes that you typically are going to get out of Blanton's, I am severely disappointed in Blanton's. No, cheers to Tanner there, East Coast Liquor Reviews. No fault on your own, Tanner, if that's actually how the rest of the bottle tastes. What do you? But let me know if you get this, if you get that kind of a minty or soapy taste there. He washed the empty bottle pretty thoroughly, so it shouldn't be Soapy, I appreciate that gesture there. I'm not really impressed with that. If this is what it always tastes like for the most part, these are the typical flavors, and you're spending $200-300 a bottle on this whiskey, you are a true idiot. What would I rate this? There's even like a citrus, lemon, limey note at this point when it dries. Something's weird about that. It's basically cilantro herbal. I'm calling this cilantro. I'm not calling it soap. Nah, that's not for me. Appreciate the sample of Blanton's there, Tanner. That will not be a bottle that I ever pursue on my own. I'm going to give that I'll give it a 70 out of 100. The redeeming quality is that it's super smooth and velvety and creamy. It's a very light tasting whiskey overall, though. There's not much really to write home about. Minty, no, I ate dinner of lamb and macaroni and cheese and cauliflower and rice. So, nah. Sometimes you can get minty notes from rye. And this is a high rye. Maybe that's what I'm getting, but it's not that much rye in there. It could be the rye, I guess, but no on the cilantro notes. The drinkability is astronomically high, but for borderline $70 on the regular, if you can find it, way more than that. I'm not into that note. Not really. So yeah, 70 out of 100 for the sample of Blanton's. Thank you, Tanner. East Coast Liquor Reviews. Commerce Ozzy. He says, cheers. Just picked up the Jack Daniels Triple Mash. I would like to try the Jack Daniels Triple Mash, but not at north of $50 a bottle. Some stores are between 45 and 50 US dollars for that bottle. So no, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 70 out of 100. I'm not super impressed, not in the least. But until next time, go check out Tanner, East Coast Liquor Reviews. His YouTube channel name is in the comments or in the description below. And until next time, keep tasting those great beers and whiskeys. Cheers. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.